Channel 3's Game of the Week is brought to you by Carroll Community College and by Krause Ford. Back here at Scott Bear Stadium, Brian McLean and Ross Burbidge as the Shoremen lead the Green Terror 8-1 as we get set for the start of the second half. And some special things going on at halftime today. The champions of the late 70s, the Mid-Atlantic Conference champions of 1978 and 1979 at then Western Maryland College. Those players were honored at halftime today, and that was a special time period for this program, Ross. The only time the lacrosse program here has won a conference title, those 2 years back-to-back in the old MAC before the formation of the Centennial Conference.
And what was very interesting, way back then in 1979, in a nationally known publication called the Sporting News, the Farley Dickinson Madison Western Maryland game was shown on ESPN Live and got tremendous reviews in the Sporting News for how exciting the sport of lacrosse was. Western Maryland not only winning a conference title, but being in the forefront of national sports reporting for great lacrosse.
First half numbers there, the saves are even, a shot differential of 12 for the Shoremen. Face-offs even as well at 5 apiece, and the Green Terror now have the ball to start the second half, working left to right in this third quarter, trailing 8-1. And a near takeaway there. Rob Weaver battles. It is a takeaway coming up to the Shoremen's Kyle Mitten. For Washington, John Spivey with 3 goals and Chris Edwards with 2. And 1 apiece for Steve Berger, Craig Early, and Ryan Morrison. As the Green Terror come up with it now, Weaver at midfield. Justin Merson scoring the lone goal for McDaniel College, the game's first goal, early first quarter.
It's very interesting. It was a Weaver to Merson pass that resulted in the McDaniel score, because they can't get the ball to Joe Ellis. Washington College just swarming him with a double team. The closest he's come to doing anything productive is when they crunched him, and he at least got credit for being fouled.
Yeah, Ellis has been taken out of the ball game today. Excellent defense from Greg Vetter and Craig Fleetwood. They've been mainly responsible for Joe Ellis, who's been working on the left wing. And we'll see if McDaniel can come up with some plays to get him more involved in the attack today. Joe, a perennial player here in the Centennial Conference. He needs 39 more points to eclipse Bill Hallett for the all-time points record at McDaniel. He needs 16 goals to break Tom Brown's all-time goal-scoring record. He needs 27 to tie the career mark held in the conference. And, of course, things winding down here, and they may be very difficult to attain depending on how far McDaniel goes, if indeed they make the postseason. Jeremy Freed able to get it back to Alex Tolge. Every possession important now for McDaniel, trailing by 7.
You notice in that quick sequence, Ellis again double-teamed and battered. He's going to be looking at the purple lumps going, oh, that's a Vetter. Oh, down here, that's a Fleetwood. Because those guys are just pounding him.
They've been all over the place today. Now a takeaway, and they work it back to Yost. Nice effort there from John Timken. Timken creates that takeaway, and it comes back out to the Shoremen. Early, 4-on-4 at the moment. Edwards over to Spivey on the wing. Berger passes up to Renner. Cook will defend him.
Yeah, Washington College playing that game of pass, 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 and let's see who we can set up in a one-on-one matchup.
A Shoreman win will give them first place, and they will host the conference playoffs next weekend. A McDaniel win will keep them in first place with 1 game remaining with Gettysburg, with a lot of work to do this afternoon. Renner showing some patience. Stolzenberg defends him. Near side to Brewer, Topher Brewer. Cook cuts him off. Working behind a Spivey, a quick stick effort there by Morrison, who finds the crease. Play continues. Cook comes out with it for the Green Terror.
Alert play on called by the official because there was a crease violation.
Advantage for McDaniel, though, to continue on. Scott Stolzenberg through a double team. Renner stick checks him with some help there from Berger. And a pass down the field. Edwards gives it up to Spivey. Pretty pass there to get it downfield.
Interesting, the no-look pass was perfect. The one when Edwards was looking at somebody, that's where the problem was. Maybe they ought to just close their eyes and play. They'd be incredible.
German possession. In no hurry, of course, with a 7-goal lead. Brewer on the wing. Gives up to Spivey.
Yeah, actually making that McDaniel College defense rotate with them as they take the ball around the perimeter and set up the one-on-one play is an ideal situation. Let's work some fatigue into these McDaniel defenders. There's no reason why good ball movement. I mean, what can it do? All it's going to do is run time off the clock and create fatigue for McDaniel.
Edwards cut off by Chris Currents on defense. Comes near side to Renner, and Stolzenberg defending out there. Brewer has it far side. Cook will come out and defend. Back to Berger. He'll put it on shot, score. Puts the shot on goal, I should say. Oh my goodness, Steve Berger with a rocket in the upper left corner. He scores his second today. It becomes an 8-goal lead for the Sherman.
I've seen launches at NASA that were slower than that.
That was unbelievable. Berger's 24th of the season, and this thing was just flying.
Now, if you're Corba, if I saw something coming at me that fast, I would run away. Unfortunately, it was so fast, you couldn't think to run away.
No time at all.
It's like one of those laser lights. Boop, point at the corner.
Berger with a rocket shot just inside the corner. Gives his team a 9-1 lead. They win the ensuing face-off as well. And Berger has it right now on the left side. Corba defending him.
And with momentum the way it is and the run of play the way it is, things are looking very good for Washington College.
Craig Early sets up shop on the left side. Cook defending. Passes back to Dial at the top of the key, if you will. Swinging around to Spivey behind the cage. Out to Early. Early has a notion. Little behind the back pass. Renner tried to clean it up, or rather Berger. And a loose ball push called against McDaniel. Possession for Washington. Spivey will direct things from the wing.
At this stage of the game to catch is the most efficient thing Washington College can do.
Early takes a shot. It's wide right on a tough angle. Spivey tracks it down out in the corner. Back out to Dial at the top. Gives up to Early. 8:50 left in the third quarter. Early tough angle, puts it on net. It's wide left, or rather wide right. And Chris Currents hustling back there defensively. He's closest as it goes out of bounds. And the McDaniel Green Terror will take over on offense. Curtis Schaefer will start the clear out. And McDaniel has to get busy. Josh Hanlon has it. Too high for Schaefer, couldn't handle the pass. Can they make them pay? Spivey puts it on net and scores. Berger the assist, Spivey the finish after the takeaway. They make you pay time and time again. And Spivey scores his 4th today, his 20th of the season, and it's all Washington. They lead by 9.
And Spivey certainly knows where he is on the lacrosse field. He positions himself perfectly in an unsettled situation. Look at as he spins the ball right by Corba, fakes him out of his shoes, and then drives the ball into the open net.
Spivey from Timonium, another decent program. Delaney is where he went. Washington College on the verge of their 10th straight win in a regular season conference championship. From the face-off, it's Parr and Papafotis. McDaniel wins it with Stolzenberg far side. They'll give it up to Ellis. Rob Weaver, he's behind the goal along with Justin Merson. And Merson, a Francis Scott Key graduate, his sister, very much involved in athletics here as well. Melissa plays soccer and runs indoor and outdoor track.
Justin knows how to score. He is a transfer to McDaniel. He played down south at Campbell. He actually scored a hat trick in a Division I game playing for Campbell against North Carolina.
I misspoke earlier when I said Pfeiffer. It was Campbell where Justin transferred from to McDaniel College. Justin having a fine season. The game's only goal for McDaniel today, but it's been all Washington since the second quarter. They have possession right now. Spivey receives the pass behind. He and Berger will work it right now. Renner has it on the wing. Tolge defending him. And 10 unanswered goals from Washington. 4 of them from John Spivey. Spivey has it right now. Chris Kearns defends. Out to Brewer. Renner far side. 6:38 to go in the third corner. Spivey looking for a cutter. That got a piece of either the goal or Mike Corba. Back to Spivey.
Corby very efficient, stick up.
Morrison with the notion toward the goal. Cut off by Elko. Berger has it right now, takes a shot, hits the deck as the goal is unsuccessful. The shot over the goal. And possession awarded to McDaniel College. Again, a rocket off the stick of Steve Berger. Green Terror possession. Hanlon starts to clear out to Schaefer. Pete Schaefer again with 6 goals and 2 assists against F&M on Wednesday.
But Yost up to the challenge today.
Richard Yost has been sensational in the goal for Washington. Joe Ellis, there's that double team again by the same 2 defenders. They've been all over the place. Vetter number 18 and Fleetwood number 28. They create another takeaway. They have stymied one of the conference's top offensive threats all afternoon.
I'm surprised they don't knock on Ellis's dorm room door tonight. Hey Joe, how you doing? He may have to eat dinner with him.
I'm sure he's seen enough of them already today. And he'll be glad when they leave Westminster. They have been sensational. It's a big, big part of this game, folks. Steve Berger backs out towards midfield. Gives up to Renner. Spivey to Morrison around the Brewer. Berger slides to his right, has a notion. Now will back out and wait for help. Spivey on the near side. Sherman just taking their time, looking for a cutter near the crease area. Working clock with his comfortable lead. 4:15 to go in the third. Berger starts to cut, couldn't quite corral it. Loose ball winds up in Corba's stick, and Mike will clear it upfield. Colby Cook along the far side. Renner defends. Back to Schaefer. Schaefer works out top with Freed. Alex Tolles will work out top. Freed has it right now. Jeremy slides left, puts it on net and scores. How about that? McDaniel College with their first tally since the first quarter. Jeremy Freed, who had 5 on Wednesday, scores his first today, his 14th of the season, to pull the Terror within 8.
It gets nice velocity with his left-handed shot, but let's look at all the traffic up in front of the cage. When Yost is looking up, there's a screen of players in his way. That ball comes at him in a hurry, and it's well placed over his right shoulder into the corner of the goal.
10-2 Washington lead. Joe Papafotis will work the draw now, the face-off against Tom Parr. And Parr this year 58% successful on face-offs. As a team, they're good for 59% are Washington. And they come up with it right now. Dial fleet of foot into the offensive zone. Comes near side to Spivey. Out to Edwards. Randy Vane has it right now. Passes far side. Early takes his time, slides right with a bounce shot. Corba got a piece of it, knocks it behind the cage. Spivey comes up with it. Vane in the box, defended by Stolzenberg. Under 3 minutes to go in the half. Stick check, the ground ball controlled by Vane. Morrison to Early. Early looking for a seam toward the goal. Gives it up to Dial. Over to Vane. Vane slides left, puts it on net and scores. Randy Vane, he gets in on the action. His 7th goal of the season and the 6th player to score for the Shoremen today. They again lead by 9 at 11-2.
We've talked all along about how will the fatigue of being on active defense for so much of the second quarter affect McDaniel. Look, as Vane goes to the goal, he's actually picked up quite well. He is double teamed. Corba steps out like he should be as a goalkeeper and actually gets a piece of that ball with his heel. But when you're that tired, when you've been working that hard, it's just hard to be as efficient as you were at the start of the game.
Papafotis works the face-off with Matt Spiro. Spiro hits the deck along the near sideline. Possession awarded to Washington. And Randy Vane scores, a junior from Sparks. Number 7 on the season. And the Shoremen have possession and a 9-goal lead. Extra man opportunities in the first half. Both teams unsuccessful. McDaniel 0 for 3, Washington 0 for 1. Hasn't been much of an issue today. It's just been a great defensive effort on Joe Ellis and quick transition offense after McDaniel mistakes.
Well, each team with 60 minutes to work with, and we've only had 3 minutes in penalties called so far, so a very clean game.
Spivey to Berger. Berger can let it fly as we saw earlier. Takes a pass far side, comes near side to Renner. He'll put it on net, and that's wide right. Spivey near the end line. Shoreman ball. Spivey gives it up to Brewer. Out top to Renner. Left side, shot, and the goal. The finish there for Berger. Had to wait for a second, but that was a tough angle. And Steve Berger scores his 3rd of the afternoon. And the Shoremen have their biggest lead at 10, 12-2.
This is the seeing eye shot. Corba, he's going to hug that pipe. Really, the only space that's there is maybe where the contours of his body differ from the pipe. There is virtually no room, and he slides that small lacrosse ball into perhaps the only area it could go into to slide into the net.
And the Shoremen totally dominating since the second quarter. Have their biggest lead at 10. Parr and Papafotis work the face-off. Briefly controlled by Washington.
Well, it'll go to Washington. There's been a loose ball push.
Been a couple of them. And it comes out to the Shoremen. Rusty Poison hit the deck there, and it comes back out to Stuart King. Some new faces on the field for Coach Clark and the Shoremen. Spivey will work it around. Comes out to Michael McWilliams, number 46. He passes up to Brewer. Brewer, high shot over the net. Morrison back there. And possession for Washington. 1:01 to go in the 3rd quarter. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Brewer out top with King. King lost the handle. Battle for the ground ball on the far sideline. And it will be McDaniel ball, it appears. Good effort out there by the freshman, Matt Copeland, who was working hard. And actually, it will be Washington ball, I beg your pardon. But Copeland working along the far sideline. Renner and Brewer back to Berger. 24 seconds and counting, third quarter. Morrison defended by Currents. Out top to Berger. 15 seconds and counting. Brewer receives the pass. Tough angle right now. We'll go back with the pass to Spivey. Spivey. And Renner's shot is wide left and too much on it. A half a second left in the third quarter. 0.5 seconds on the clock. It's McDaniel ball, and that's going to be it for the third quarter. And the Shoremen increased their lead to 10 at 12-2. They outscored McDaniel 4-1 here in the third quarter and lead comfortably to the game's first 45 minutes. 3 down and 1 to go. After 3 quarters, it's Washington 12, McDaniel 2.